episode of the Mandala Effect. And today I feel called to speak about devotion and dedication to something higher than us. So, oftentimes, when we are going through a challenge, or we feel lost, or we don't quite know how to deal with a situation, it's very easy for us to get lost in our mind, our thinking ego mind, that says, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, or, this is my reality at the moment, and it's really difficult. And while that can feel very true to the body, to the mind, if we can detach ourselves from that and kind of release some of this panic that these thoughts bring up, we can move through challenges of life with much more grace. And it's so easy to feel lost when we're trying to navigate this human life. Like, I know as well as anybody that it's really difficult when you're faced with health challenges and you don't know the right decision to make, when you're faced with relationship challenges and things just don't seem to be quite gelling, or when you're faced with career and financial challenges, like especially anything to do with your basic survival needs can feel so scary to our ego. But I want to remind you that you are not your ego. I want to remind you that you are not the small self, and that you are connected to something higher. You are connected to the all that is and to the divine. So when you are in these spaces of worry, anxiety, worrying about the future, worrying about what you want to achieve, or contemplating the past, and I shouldn't have done that. When your mind, your ego is stuck in this, keeping you stuck in a loop, bring yourself back to awareness and remember yourself. And remember that you are connected to something higher. And then this is where devotion comes in. So, or dedication. Just before I flew to India, I was experiencing some quite big challenges in my life, and lots of things seemed like they were falling away. And I then was creating lots of circumstances in my external that just put me more into panic. Like, my car broke down, and just lots of stuff wasn't going right. And I spoke to one of my mentors, and he said to me, even though it seems like everything in life is against you, where can you dedicate your every action? How can you dedicate every action to your highest vision? And that stuck with me. There is so much power in those words. So I actually have it written. It's like my screensaver. It's my wallpaper on my phone. Is where can I dedicate every action to my highest vision? Highest, and that then means having a highest vision and believing in something higher than your current reality that your mind is creating. So dedication and devotion to something higher than yourself will help bring you out of that anxiety, help bring you out of the depression, the worrying about the past, and remind you that there's something a bit bigger at play here. There is something a little bit larger than this small self that we have in our psyche that seems to be like the constant narrator of our day, right? But when we can remember and bring ourselves back into awareness of, oh, I'm devoting my life to something higher, and that there is so much power in that. So I think it's important to have a purpose to align with every single day, and a purpose that your soul is so in love with. And it doesn't mean that you have to quit your job and go and totally change your life to go and live this purpose today. But what how are the actions that you're taking every day getting you closer to the purpose that your soul wants to live, your dharma? How can the actions that you take align with that, rather than the current reality that you might be facing, like that you might be living at the moment, but maybe not totally in love with? So what is the higher purpose that you can dedicate your every action of your day to? So say you are working a full-time, part-time job, and you aren't quite sure, like you don't feel fulfilled and you're not living your full purpose, but how can you change your mindset around your job so that it is aiding you to move closer to the life that you want to live? So say you're saving some money to go traveling, or to go and do a particular spiritual experience or retreat, or work with a coach. Like, how can your job be helping you in that, rather than, I don't want to go to this job, it's not what I'm supposed to be doing? There's a mindset shift, and when you're aligned with your purpose, that's where this mindset shift can come in. And then the things that you're doing outside of your work, outside of your daily outside of your daily routine of the driving to the getting in the car, the driving to work, doing the job, coming home, what are your actions around that? How are they aligned with your purpose? So what is your vision for your whole life, your health, your wealth, your relationships, and everything that comes in between? How are the actions that you're taking every day aligning with your entire life? So aligning with your higher purpose. So say your health. So what is your highest vision for your health? And do the actions that you're taking every day align with that? If not, where can you dedicate more of those actions to the highest vision of your health? Is it swapping a meal? Is it swapping your sugary cereal breakfast for green smoothie and muesli? Or is it swapping, maybe if you want to be a bit kinder to your body, is it swapping like a really heavy CrossFit session with a soft, supple yoga session? Like, where can you make the the small changes that you need to align with your highest vision? Because this is when this to me is when I'm feeling a bit lost or a bit out of alignment, and I can come back to, I'll realize that I'm actually not dedicating my every action to the highest vision. So if I catch myself scrolling on Instagram, like, and I have noticed recently, like, how addictive just the going in the phone, check in, WhatsApp, email, Telegram, Instagram, YouTube, like going in and checking all of these things. And I have to catch myself, why am I doing this? And it's just it's an automatic habit, a pattern that has been ingrained in my head. So I have to, in my body, it's literally an unconscious habit. So I have to snap out of it, become conscious, put my phone down and go, no, highest vision. How does this align with my highest vision? So because that is not the highest vision for my health, to be sat scrolling. It's not the highest vision for my wealth to be wasting time on social media. It's not the highest vision for my relationships if I'm sat with my partner and I'm sat scrolling on my phone, because I want a present relationship, right? So where are the actions that you're taking every day misaligned with your vision? So this is really what dedication and devotion for me is about, is that the highest vision for my life and my soul's calling, like, they'll sort of start to fall into place as you can dedicate your life more to something higher than the patterns and the conditionings of the small self, and the small self, the ego, wanting to keep you stuck in this same comfort zone. And if you're living a life on purpose, the comfort zone is the most dangerous place that you can be, because you will stagnate, and you will suddenly, 10 years will go by and you'll think, what did I do with my time? And then can we take it one step further? Now, this isn't for everybody, but for me, and a couple of years ago, if somebody had asked me to devote my life, my every movement to something higher than me, like love or God, I would have sort of winced and gone, what? You said God? Or the universe. But in my spiritual understanding now and my beliefs and how they align now, I understand that I am a manifestation of consciousness, and I am living out a tiny part of like it's like the universe is experiencing life. Consciousness is experiencing every possibility in life through every person, every being, every tree, every plant, every animal, and experiencing all infinite different realities all at once. So I understand I'm playing a very small role in a much bigger picture. So how can I devote my every action to the bigger picture, to love, to consciousness? How can I devote my life to something higher than me? And actually, I've always believed in something a bit higher, and I never really knew what it was, but I know that that belief really helped me through cancer, because I knew that it wasn't really me making the decisions. It wasn't really me going through the thing, whilst it was on one level, but also I knew that something else had my back. And so when I can devote my life to love, and when I can devote my life to something a bit higher, I can feel supported in the really difficult times, and I can understand that I am doing this as an act of service. And so think about when you have been in service to others, when you have helped your grandma with something, or when you have helped your sister or a sibling, or you're helping your clients every day, you're helping the people that you work with every day. When you're in that state of service and recognize that you're helping other people, how does your body feel knowing that you're helping other people? It's a good feeling, right? Like knowing that every day you show up to work and you're the best version of yourself, and that is helping so many people. And there's a ripple effect of people that you don't even see who you're helping. But being in that state of service does wonders for your mindset. But it's also, that's a devotion, to be in this state of service. So devoting your life to love and devoting your life to being in service of to love does so much for your energy. And I don't know about, it just takes a little bit of pressure off me, the human, to get everything perfect all the time and to make the right decision all the time, because I know I'm aligned with something higher. So can you find something in your life, something higher, that you feel so strongly about that you are willing to devote your life to it? Devote and dedicate your every action to this thing, whether it is your highest vision of health, wealth, and love, or whether it is God or the universe, or the higher power that you may believe in, or can it just simply be devoting your every action, movement, thought, decision to your highest vision of who you want to become? And make sure you have a list. You know who you want to become. Who do you want to become, and who do you want to be? And every action that you take is going to move you closer to her or further away. So devote your life to something bigger than the small self and the ego mind that is sat playing out at the moment. And you will feel your life change immediately. Because every day you wake up and align with that higher purpose and understand you're devoting and dedicating your every moment, your every movement throughout that day to this higher purpose, you are going to make some really massive shifts in your life. And you will, this is how you get into alignment. And this is how you heal karma. And this is how you heal conditioning. And this is how you start to act from freedom. Because when you're aligned with your dharma and your soul's calling, your higher purpose for being in this life, you are not making decisions based on fear anymore, not making decisions based on your past experiences anymore, not making decisions based on your conditioning anymore, because you're making decisions based on love, based on faith, based on something higher, and based on you moving towards your higher vision. And that is extremely powerful. That is when you start to live in your dharma. And that is when the universe really comes in and supports you in your every action. Like, you might think that something feels impossible, but when you're making decisions and taking action, moving towards something higher than yourself, this is when reality bends to make it work for you, because it's what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to leave it there with, where can you devote your life to love, devote your life to your highest version of yourself and your highest vision. Dedicate your every action to your highest vision and watch reality bend for you. I hope you have a beautiful week ahead, and I would really love to know what you're dedicating your life to. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Mandala Effect. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on your favourite podcast platform. I greatly appreciate your ongoing support, and the podcast wouldn't be where it is today without you, so thank you. Don't forget to share this podcast with your friends and family, and let's continue spreading the Mandala effect of magic and infinite possibilities. See you next week.